What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of our new show. I'm Keaton, here with Papa Bear. Welcome to the Second City Sports Show.
Sports Talk, right. This is exciting. This is our new channel. We're here to bring you some deep analysis on the Bears, the Cubs, and maybe some other things in Chicago sports. But we really are excited to cover some interesting topics, some analysis. We're going to go over some stats, the seasons, things about the Bears and the Cubs that we hope that no other channel can bring you. We're really excited to get started on this awesome channel. So, here we are. We're going to try to do our best to analyze something for you. Let's start right off on this week, with the Bears, because that's what's going on right now.
I
right?
mean,
Not a lot of Cubs news going on right now, of course. So, hey, let's talk about this game of the Packers. Tell me what you think about the game of the Packers.
I mean, obviously, it's a tough game. We're severe underdogs here. Not many people think we're going to win, which gives us, I think, some motivation coming off of a bye week. Yeah. We're playing against probably one of the better teams in the league right now, the Packers, a team that has dominated us for 3 decades now. I mean, we are 3-17 in our last 20 meetings with the Packers.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they lost last week.
The Packers did lose last week to the Colts. That is a really tough loss.
Yeah.
So also some motivation for the Packers to get back on track with the Bears. But yeah, we're going to talk about some of the keys to the game now.
Yeah, I think one of the important keys of this game is for us to get the O-line really being consistent and blocking better. Now we have a new QB, right? So
Mitch Trubisky is back.
He's back. I'm kind of pumped about that, actually. Are you pumped? Are you excited? Do you think he's gonna, he's gonna?
I think he has to. Mitchell Trubisky is playing for his NFL career live right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can come out and prove to the Bears that he still has something left in him, then who knows what could happen. This could be the beginning of something new in the Trubisky era. Right. It could start something, but he has to win this game. Yeah. He has to play well, or else Nick Foles is coming back next week.
Yeah, and the reason the O-line is so important for Trubisky is because he really needs to get consistent with his passes. So he's obviously a more dynamic QB than Foles is, and we've seen that for the last 5-6 games with Foles. He's kind of cement feet, and Trubisky can roll out, he can run, he can do some other things, but he needs that O-line to have a presence, to be able to give him some time to think, and hopefully he's worked on his footwork. He's worked on a few other things to make his passes more accurate. And this time off, I know he had a shoulder injury, but I think he's good now. I hope that shoulder injury is completely past him. We don't have to bring. I think Foles is out for the game. He's at least questionable with a hip injury, so I don't think he's even available.
No, they've named him as the starter.
Yeah. So we got Trubisky going in the O-line, really important, and I hope they stack up well against the Packers. It's tough, but I think they can stack up pretty well against the Packers defensive line. So what do you got for a key?
Well, I was just gonna talk about Trubisky.
Well, go for it. Give me some more smack on Trubisky.
Okay, let's talk about Trubisky this season. He's 3-0 as a starter this season, which I think a lot of non-Bears fans would be extremely excited about that. I mean, not excited.
Well,
they'd probably be confused because everyone doesn't think of Trubisky as the best QB.
Right.
But let's compare him to Nick Foles. I mean, so far this season, Trubisky through 3 games, through 2.5 really.
Right.
He threw for 560 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Right.
So, I mean, you hear that. He has an 87% quarterback rating.
QB rating, yep.
QB rating.
Yeah.
So, you hear that, and it sounds pretty good, but the biggest problem for Trubisky throughout all 3 years of his
career
with the Bears has been the consistency.
Yep.
We all know that Trubisky has a lot of problems with decision-making. He gets outside the pocket, and that's where Trubisky is best, is outside the pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is one of the reasons why I think this Trubisky is going to be beneficial for the Bears right now, because Nick Foles, he really struggles getting outside the pocket. We all know he's extremely slow.
Sure.
And with that makeshift O-line right now, Trubisky is what they need right now to get some speed at that quarterback position.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just getting sacked every single play, and it's really a struggle back there.
Yeah, it's a big key.
So I mean, for Trubisky, he has something to prove. He needs to go in there with a mindset that this is it, really, and that he needs to play his heart out for the Bears.
Another key to the game, I think, to really help Trubisky is going to be the running game. We really haven't established much of a running game. Montgomery's back, though. I think he's off a concussion protocol, so he's back in the game. We need to keep the ball going. We need to be consistent. You can't have a bunch of 3-and-outs. And I know that we've had a tough time at, especially with Trubisky. I think third down was not his friend, right? I mean, we didn't really convert tons of third downs with Trubisky.
That was the biggest problem.
That was really big, and Foles wasn't doing it either, but he did it occasionally. And with Montgomery running, we can establish a run, get 7 yards, or whatever, and we're facing a 3rd and short. I think Trubisky can keep it going. If he can keep the pressure going on the Packers defense, that'll really give him some time to get back into the groove and to feel like he's being a little more consistent. Right?
So establish the run is your second key to the game.
That is a great
huge sets up the play action. We all know that Trubisky. That's where he's best at, is on the play action. That's going to be huge for the Bears.
Yeah.
My second key to the game, I want to talk about Aaron Jones. The Packers running back. Very versatile running back.
Yeah.
He's similar to Dalvin Cook, who the Bears were able to bottle up last week.
Right.
In a good way. I mean,
2 weeks ago, even. No.
2 weeks, yes. Right. But if we're talking in football terms,
yes,
last
for
game. Bears fans.
Yeah, for the Bears.
Yes. So Dalvin Cook he's basically he's kind of like Aaron Jones. He caught the ball, he can catch the ball, and he can run the ball. That was Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones basically the same guy. And I've been watching Aaron Jones for a long time now, for a few years, ever since he came into the league. This is a guy who, he's kind of off the radar for a lot of teams. When you think about the best running backs in the league, you think of maybe Ezekiel Elliott.
Sure.
You think of Saquon Barkley.
Sure. Yeah.
You think of Dalvin Cook, obviously.
Right. But this guy,
he's always an X factor for the Packers.
Sure.
And he's really, I think, their secret weapon. I mean, everyone talks about Aaron Rodgers, of course, and Devontae Adams on that defense and that amazing offensive line. But Aaron Jones will light you up, and if you don't expect it, he'll run all over you.
Yeah. Another key in my mind is, we need to pressure Rodgers. Rodgers, he picks us apart usually, but if Mack and Smith can get some pressure on him, get him, making bad decisions, and I'm not thinking we're going to get tons of interceptions against him. He's got some weapons to go to, but if we can get some pressure on him and keep him, moving in the pocket, he sometimes does pretty well in the pocket too. But if we can get him to be a little bit scared of our defense and a little bit scared of the rush, I would like to see some more blitzing. I know that doesn't happen that much, but I'd like to see a little more blitzing and a little bit more pressure on Rodgers, and I think that will make.
You gotta phase Rodgers. If you look
phase him, yeah. You
at his worst game this season was against Tampa Bay, where they got blown out.
Yeah.
It was because Rodgers threw a couple picks early. Yep. They were getting pressure in his face.
Gotta get in his brain. You gotta get into him.
And, I mean, it phased him for the rest of his game. He couldn't get back in the groove. That's the key for Rodgers. And I'm going to pick up right where you left off. And I'm going to talk about bend but don't break. The Bears are the best red zone defense in the league, and that's going to be huge against the Packers.
Yeah.
The Packers obviously have one of the better offenses in the league.
Yeah.
And part of that is because of the deep pass threat.
True.
We got to be able to contain that deep pass threat.
Yeah.
Our safeties and our corners, Kyle Fuller, Eddie Jackson, they've really got to step it up. I know I know it's not really the defense's fault for where the Bears are this year, but they're gonna have to play at their best to stop Aaron Rodgers and hold them to field goals most of the time. Yeah. We know that they're gonna be able to drive it down the field.
Yeah.
It's just about keeping them out of the end zone.
Yeah, like Keaton's saying, the defense, bend, don't break. We got to keep that mantra going. And at the same time, we need to keep the ball on the offensive side for us, right? That, to me, again, I know I mentioned that before.
That's part of the running game.
We really need to keep the ball. We can't have the defense on the field every other three plays. I mean, it's just we can't do all these 3-and-outs. That's really important for the Bears. Consistency. The defense is great. They know what they're doing, but they need a little bit of support from the offense. I think that'll keep it moving. So,
and about Devontae Adams, that also ties into my key.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, one of the best red zone threats in the league.
Yeah.
If the Bears want to keep up this amazing red zone defense that they've been playing all year, they're gonna have to shut him down in the red zone.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So my last key to the game, is getting the tight ends involved. The last few weeks, I think that's been kind of one of the biggest reasons that the offense has been struggling so much, other than the offensive line.
Yeah.
We all know that the offensive line has its own struggles. That's a whole nother thing. But it's about the tight ends. Jimmy Graham, Cole Kmet, we spent a lot of money in the offseason to get these guys.
Yeah.
And they just have not been stepping it up recently.
I have to check.
Jimmy
Is
Graham
Kmet
had a
back
couple
in?
of...
Is Kmet back? I know he was injured. Is he? I wonder if he's back. We have to check that to see if he's back. But
Jimmy Graham had a couple of dropped passes last week that really hurt the Bears.
Yeah, that's unusual.
They're
for him,
gonna...
too.
Yeah, he's known for his great hands. But, so we're gonna have to get them involved, try to get them up the middle and in the red zone, because the Bears have been really struggling in the red zone to score this year. We're going to have to look for Jimmy Graham. I think it's not just about him doing his job. It's also about the coaches doing their job and getting him his chances. Because right now I just don't think that there's been many chances for him to make a play.
Yeah. No, good. I mean, those are the keys of the game. I mean, I think we've got some good ones there. I know they seem like it's pretty much everything you would want to do, but it's important. We're coming off that bye week. We've got to win this game. This is kind of like, I don't know if it's a season, because if we lose to the Packers, right, we're 5-6. That means, and we play the Packers again at the end of the season, so the chances of us beating them again, it'll be at home, but it's still a tough game. So you got to imagine we got those 2 losses there. If we don't win this week, we've got to win the other 3 weeks.
4, actually.
Well, I mean, and the other game of the Packers too. But man, if we can, this is our chance. We started great, and the season really tanked here, and I think a lot of people are really disappointed and just kind of like giving up at this point. But I'm kind of positive. I feel like there's a spark there that we can really push forward and get the season turned around back to being in the positive. If we win this game, the next 3 games, are a little bit easier, I think, and it really lets you breathe a little bit and gets everyone motivated and positive.
If we win this game, I think it'll be a huge momentum swing in favor of the Bears. If we win this game, makes us 6-5. We have a couple of games that should be padding for the Bears.
Sure.
I mean, like against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
That should be a win.
Yeah.
So, if we lose this game, we put ourselves in a really tough position where we have to win 4 straight before the Packers game.
Yeah. If we can stay healthy, if we can get this win in against the Packers, even if it's a nail biter, even if we just come out with a field goal at the end, I think that's
I think that would be really happy. I mean, the Packers are favored by 10 points.
Oh God, yeah, they're.
So I think even if we lose a close game against the Packers, I think we have to take that away as a positive that we played them close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hicks, like you were saying, it's going to be a massive guy to stopping like Aaron Jones. That's going to be key.
That's key. Yeah. What else? Anything else about the season that the rest of it, or even early on that?
Well,
I
think we should talk about the Packers.
Just about the enemy. You want to talk about the enemy? All right, let's talk about the Packers a little bit.
So the Packers, their biggest success this season, the main reason why they've been so good, is because they have one of the best offensive lines in the league, led by David Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
And that's why Aaron Rodgers has been so effective this year, more than he has in past years.
Yeah.
And he's been able to get time to deliver the ball to his best receivers like Devontae Adams and even Valdez-Scantling was showing up last week, although he did have the game-ending fumble.
The game-ending fumble, yeah. We were watching that game. That was fun to see. As Bears Nation fans, anytime the Packers lose, it's a good week. And anytime we can look over at the sideline and see Aaron Rodgers pouting and just looking. I mean, you all know that feeling. I think when we say that's a great feeling.
When the Bears lose, you just hope the Packers lose.
Yeah.
So obviously, Aaron Rodgers probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, arguably the best in the league. I mean, you have to some debate to that. So obviously their offense is going to be a big struggle, but that's where we excel too, is on defense. So it's going to be a battle of the heavyweights when it comes to the Bears defense versus the Packers offense.
Yeah, no, agree.
But then on defense, the Packers, they're kind of mid-tier when it comes to defense. They have some weapons. They have some good cornerbacks. They've picked up a lot of young cornerbacks on that team for the Packers.
Sure.
And they have an ex-Bear, Adrian Amos, if you remember him,
I remember
2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a defensive line led by Zadarius Smith, who, I mean, he had a really good year last year. I don't think he's been quite as effective this year, but that is going to be one of the keys for the Packers, is to get pressure I mean, it shouldn't be too hard for them because of our makeshift offensive line. But they're going to need to get pressure on Mitch Trubisky. Otherwise, Trubisky can just get away easily.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see, Trubisky coming back in. Again, I was kind of down on him at the beginning of the season, and I was kind of excited when Foles was coming back in, was coming in for him. I was kind of like, hey, I'm pumped. That quickly died off. With Trubisky coming back in, I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of a spark. I feel like that gives the offense some new things. Like you were saying, we are heavyweights on defense. Our offense has just been.
I think if anything,
flailing.
it's a change because
it's a big change.
Like last week, I think that the main reason why Matt Nagy gave up the offensive
range,
play calling to Bill Lazor was because he just wanted to spark some motivation in the players to just switch something up to see if that could spark something.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out last week. We'll see how Bill Lazor does this week. That's going to be interesting to watch. But I think that's another thing that Mitch Trubisky is going to have to do to the Bears is spark some motivation.
True.
Try to bring some change to the team that they've been needing because it's just this team feels so stale.
Yeah, it's
right
very
now.
stale, very stale. Yeah. So that's our analysis of the game. We're hoping for a win. What do you think? I'll get you your other NFL predictions in a while. You want to put a prediction out for this game?
I want to be positive. I want to pick the Bears. It just doesn't. I don't see the Bears being able to pull this one out.
Yeah.
I think if they do. Obviously, I think that it's a big momentum changer, but...
I think it's a high-scoring game, low-scoring game. What do you think?
I'm thinking Packers win it 27-17.
27-17?
I think they cover the spread and win by 10 points.
You think so? All right. I'm gonna be positive. I'm always pretty positive when it comes to these things. Hey, I'm
the realist.
I'm a Cubs fan and a Bears fan, so we have to stay positive in some. We've suffered. But I'm actually gonna say the Bears are gonna win this one, and I think we're gonna keep Packers to under 14. So I think we're going to win this 21 to 13, something like that. That's my prediction. I think the Bears are going to, be able to hold off the Packers this week. I think that's going to be the key, and it's because we're going to be on the field more. I think we're going to stay on the field, and the defense is going to get some rest, and we're not going to have all these 3 and outs, and the defense is going to have to be the ones to step up the whole game like they have in the other games. They're going to have a chance to rest and to do some plays against Rodgers. I could be eating my words next week. We'll find out, but I'm going to do I'm staying positive for the game here, but maybe next week I won't be so positive. We'll see how it goes. So the other thing is the segment we like to do before we end every week right now is Keaton's predictions for 3 different games. Last week he was 3-0, and we'll see if he can do it again. We're going to ask for who the winner is and what you think the score is going to be. So first one, I'm going to start later in the week. I'm going to start on that Tuesday night game, actually. There's a Tuesday night game.
Tuesday night game.
That's crazy, yeah. And that's the Rams at the Steelers. So you got a 6-4 Rams, 10-0 Steelers. Can you believe that? 10-0, Big Ben, 10-0. It's amazing. Who you got on that one? It's at the Steelers, but you got the Rams coming in there. What do you think?
I mean, this is the battle of the defenses.
Yep.
The Steelers have arguably the best defense in the league. I think most people would call them the best defense in the league. And the Rams, they have an extremely good defense, probably top 10, maybe top 5 defense. So it's going to be about which of those defenses can affect the other's offense more.
Sure.
I think that's going to be the key to the game. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring. I think the Steelers do win because they have a slightly better offense than the Rams. I think they have more explosion. I think Big Ben has been on the roll the last couple of weeks and just been delivering the ball beautifully to all of his receivers, Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
As well as they've been able to run the ball too. So
what's the score? What do you think?
So I'm thinking Steelers win. I think they hold the Rams to 20 points. I think they win it 26-20.
26-20. Okay, I got you there. Second game again. We're going backwards. So Sunday, a 4:25 game. This is the Chiefs, the 9-1 Chiefs, against the 7-4 Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah. It's
The
at
Bucks are coming off of
it's at the Bucks.
tough loss against the Rams last week.
Yep. No.
The Chiefs are coming off of a big game against the Raiders in which they pulled out late.
Barely. Yeah. They
Barely won that game.
Yeah.
I was pretty accurate in my prediction of
very
that last
accurate.
week.
I mean, I think you predicted 34 to 35 or something like that, and it ended up being like 35 to 31, or I think the game was 35. It was really close. So you had a 1 point game and they won by 3. So
I picked the Chiefs last week, and I'm gonna ride them again. I'm gonna ride the Chiefs. The Chiefs wave.
Okay, he's going with the Chiefs.
I'm picking them over the Bucks. 28 to 31.
28 to 31.
I think Tom Brady, he too old.
Poor Tom Brady. So the last game, you got 2 7-3 teams here on Sunday, 1:00 game. Titans at the Colts.
The Colts are coming off of their most impressive win of the season against the Packers.
Yeah.
They rallied late. They were down big at the Packers at one point during that game, and they came back and shut that Packers offense down.
Yeah.
And Phillip Rivers looked really good. I mean, he did look a little bit injured at the end of that game, but I think he's probably fine.
Yeah.
They're playing a Titans team which I have mixed feelings about. I think they have a good offense. I think that's led by Derrick Henry, obviously. But the key to the Titans is they have to establish Derrick Henry in order for them to be good at in the passing game.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the key here. Can the Colts, who have, I think statistically, one of the number one defense, I'm not sure if that's still standing, but they definitely have been in past weeks. And so they're going to have to step up and stop Derrick Henry in order for them to win this.
Tough.
This is a tough one. I think this is the toughest one yet for me.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry is going to have a monster game.
All right.
I think this Colts D has been so good recently. I think Derrick Henry is going to blow them apart, and then that's going to set up Ryan Tannehill to deliver the ball around and really use that A.J. Brown, their wide receiver.
All right.
So I'm thinking Titans win 24 to 28. 24-28.
All right. Anyway, that was it. That was our keys to the game, and we talked a little bit about our season and Trubisky coming back. Again, I'm excited about that. We got our predictions in, and that's kind of what we're here for. We're going to try to give you content, again, that is hopefully a little fresh, a little different than what you see on some of the other channels in different places, and something that coming out of brand of this guy who's a real good football genius, I think. That's my personal opinion.
Hope you enjoyed this episode or video, whatever you want to call it. We're planning on posting every Sunday. Maybe every once in a while we'll post middle of the week if we feel like it. It really depends on our schedule. Obviously, we have lives outside of YouTube, so we're gonna try to post next Sunday. Stay tuned. We'll probably be talking about the Bears again, most likely.
The Bears.
We might talk some more about the NFL or other news in general. Yeah. But that's going to be it for today.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you later, Bears Nation.